Because I just had the.
All right, we're back. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to another stream. This is Survivor 44, episode 3 recap, and I'm here with Raccoon today to talk about the episode. So,
Yo, yo, yo.
yep. Let's start off talking about the opening of the episode. So, we start off with Tika coming back from Tribal Council, and they voted out Helen, obviously. And Carson opens the whole episode by saying that he did not trust Helen, and that's why he voted her out to the tribe. And
And then
Carson, yeah. What were you gonna say?
Sarah is very mad at Carson and she's on to him. Just.
Yeah, she's on to him. This is the second time that Carson has been clocked. First time was
Can we
Carolyn. Now
talk
it's
about like. Can we talk about like spoilers for next episode, like the twist?
well, you should have asked me this before the stream, but yeah, we can talk about it at the end for the next time on Survivor
No,
section.
I want to talk about it now because I think it like
I mean, if you
it,
can tie it
I
into
can
this, yeah, sure, go ahead. You
because
can tie it in if you
because
want.
as you can see, there's the kidnapping twist from China, and they kidnap Josh, and they lose Carson. Never mind. I was gonna say that Sarah, Josh, and like Carolyn could have teamed up to vote out Carson, but never mind because Carson gets kidnapped as well.
Anyways, back on the track because Raccoon just talked about some random stuff that nobody cares about, but it's okay.
Well, fuck you.
Yeah, and it seems like they're doing damage control with Sarah, saying it's not against her as a move, right? Um,
She ain't buying it. She ain't
yeah,
buying
she's
it.
not buying it, which is why she's suspicious of Carson. And then we end off the Tika section by Carolyn saying that she's excited to survive a tribal council without using her idol, and that she's in two different shoes, which is another Carolyn moment. And what do you think about how Sarah's calling out Carson? Is this good for him edit wise, or is it not? What do you think?
No, this is bad for her.
What about when
This is
Deshaun
bad
called
for.
out Erica pre-merge? What about that? Wasn't that good for Erica in hindsight?
Oh, I don't think Carson's winning. I think he's gonna get fourth place.
Oh yeah, by the way, look at that. Radio Ranger's in the chat again. Thank you, Radio
Oh
Ranger, for
yeah,
showing up.
I gotta because last time when he didn't show up, I didn't put the at everyone for the
Oh, okay.
announcement.
Well, okay, that is what it is. And by the way, like, you know how the previous on Survivor's done now? They don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I think that this is actually better than what they're doing. They're doing like kind of like small flashbacks every episode, and what
Yeah.
they're doing is they're basically replacing the previously on Survivor with actual like a basic flashback that will remind us of what happened briefly, and then also expands on upcoming events for the episode. Like last
Mm-hmm.
time, we had Matthew who was talking about the last tribal council in episode 2 on the recap, and he was talking about how why he played a shot in the dark. We didn't know this, but he recaps he played the shot in the dark and he explained why, which is better than just a recap from Jeff Probst in my opinion. What do you think? Do you agree with that or no?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, this time we got obviously they recapped Helen getting voted out and what it means for Carolyn and stuff like that, but we also saw that Sarah does not trust Carson. That's what the extra bit of information we're getting is. So I actually like that better in that respect. And yeah, that's Tika so far. And then we move on to Ratu. We move on to Ratu with, unfortunately, what we're being presented with is Kane singing "Oh Canada." And
And he
honestly, when I
sings it
heard this
wrong.
the first time, I would rather have had Bryce on the podcast singing some random song instead of Kane. But it is what it is.
He
And then we
sings
get a
it
confession.
wrong.
What was that?
He says instead of our native land, he says our sacred land.
Yeah. And to be honest, I can't even sing the Canadian national anthem, to be honest, as well as
Oh,
Kane.
Canada.
We don't need you to sing either, okay? We don't need anybody singing right now,
What?
okay? For the sake
Okay.
of everybody. Um, and yeah, and then we get Kane obsessing over RPG games and Dungeons and Dragons. He
And
talks
how
about
he's
how,
gonna be a hero.
yeah, he talks about the hero story and wanting to be a hero to people. And I don't know how you're being a hero to anybody in this game, but it is what
And
it is.
but like I think Kane got like good content this episode. I think he could definitely make it far and have like a journey edit, kind of similar to like Owen or something like that.
I think Kane's
Like
gonna
I
be like Daniel, to be honest.
I
But
no,
whatever.
I don't think he's going early. I think is that a hot take? I don't think he's going early. I think he's just
I
gonna
think
go
that's
like
a hot
mid merge.
take. I think that's a hot take.
Like the double tribal. Like he's gonna either be like a Ryan kind of like a double tribal boot, or he's gonna like be like some losing finalist or some shit like that.
Since you're talking about the tribe swap thing, the China Steel, what do you think about Kane and Carson as potential allies? Do you think that's possible?
Very good. That's very good for him. And
Okay.
me thinking that Carson's gonna make a deep run and get like fourth place or something, like helps out Kane
I
because
think Carson's
yeah.
gonna get taken out before 4, in my opinion, but whatever. Because like Carson's like
What,
someone
where,
that
where do you think?
once you get to the
Where do you think?
merge and everyone knows that you're scheming, which everyone already is clocking Carson on his tribe, everyone's gonna be able to tell. He's gonna be clocked and he's gonna get out. So that's my opinion there.
I don't know.
Just based on, I'm not looking at the edit. I'm looking at strategy and the basic position in the game. I'm trying to be like not play the edit as much as possible,
Pika
right?
tribe is like a very well developed tribe. Like we know a lot about them. So I
Yeah.
expect Carson, Carolyn, and Yam Yam both to make pretty deep runs, like at least middle of the road.
Yeah, well, we know a lot about them. We don't know a lot about Sarah, which is honestly probably for the
Yeah,
better because nobody wants to know anything about Sarah anyways.
Sarah's gonna either be like an early merge boot, just like goes out like Dwight, like kind of like Dwight, or she's
Hmm.
gonna be like just a pre-merge boot. Like
You know what I can see happening, and I don't want to branch off too much here because we're speculating about the next episode, but I think that you know how Josh swapped with Carson on the Tika tribe?
no, the Carson also got stolen. So
Yeah, I know. I said
on
they
the
got swapped basically. Well,
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
didn't really get swapped because you know they're from different tribes, but Josh could be the first boot if they go to tribal council because they haven't
yeah.
expanded on Josh. And then right after it's
I
gonna be like Genie, where Jam Jam and Carolyn just vote out the third person,
yeah,
which is Sarah, and then that's them. And then we both
I
get those
agree.
two irrelevant players out of the way right before the merge.
I
Um,
agree. I definitely agree. What could make for boring TV, but yeah.
no, they're gonna make it entertaining, like they made this episode. Like honestly, the way we look at the Claire boot, they made it really entertaining for what it was. It was just an obvious boring boot on the island. It would probably
I
have
don't
been
know
really.
why they're I don't know why they're doing the stealing thing when they could just swap into two tracks. Like it
Yeah,
seems so
I
silly.
don't know why they're doing this. They're literally just screwing over 3 people potentially. So it's like the
Like
worst
if you
version
have
of swap. They're doing
Jamie,
the worst twist this season. Even though it's a good season so far, they're doing terrible twists.
Jamie is with like Matt, Franny, Heidi, and who else? Danny. Like that's really bad for her. Like I
Wait, no,
don't think she's.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
They're
yeah,
gonna have
yeah.
to that Soka tribe is gonna have to win every single challenge from here.
Yeah, Danny's just gonna off himself at that point because you have both Jamie and Franny on the same tribe. Oh my god, that's gonna be terrible. I feel so bad. It's gonna be
What's wrong
the
with Franny?
it's gonna be the annoying off. It's gonna be the battle of the most annoying players of all time.
What's wrong with
Um,
Franny? Franny's cool. You're
we'll
dumb.
talk about why Franny's annoying later on because you know she cries immediately after she loses the challenge, and starts raging in the water, splashing the water around. It is what it is. We'll talk about that. But
I didn't know that. I didn't see that.
well, I rewatched the episode and started taking notes, so I saw everything pretty much, and I have everything memorized at this point. But Brandon,
I don't pay much attention to much.
yeah, I didn't pay much attention to the first episode, like every single detail, until I watched it the second time, and I was able to like actually
Yeah.
understand. But also, we get an interesting confessional from Brandon. We get a flashback confessional. What do you think about that for his edit? Because honestly, it's surprising that he's getting good
Happy
content.
birthday, Radio Ranger. Happy
Oh yeah, happy
birthday,
birthday,
Radio
Radio
Ranger.
Ranger! Happy birthday. Unfortunately, Radio Ranger, you have a birthday before Bryce's, so get ready for Bryce to be obnoxious all over streams and stuff about his birthday. I'm sorry for that, Radio Ranger. I apologize.
Bryce
But
literally voted me out on a like eviction notice, like
okay,
on my birthday, and he's literally getting pissed off at me because I won't give him an idol like a week before his birthday. Like he's so fucking annoying.
yeah, they're talking about Big Brother Roblox and stuff like that. These guys, by the way, it's for the people that don't know
No,
what
it,
eviction notice
it,
is.
it applies to what we're talking about. So don't tell me I'm not.
Okay, okay, we're getting off the. But then we get a confession from Brandon in his flashback scene.
Okay.
What do you think about that for his edit? By the way, I don't know what to think. Is this like a swatty where they get content for no reason? They get out like really early. Is that what we're seeing? Like Brandy.
Brandon got 14 confessionals in the premiere.
Yeah, but what about this episode? He got a flashback, which was like one of the only flashbacks this episode,
I
if
don't
not the only
remember
one.
that.
He got a
What
flashback
was it?
about how he does everything, like he does snowboarding and magic tricks and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah. That was good personal content. That was actually pretty
But
good
do you
for him.
think it could be like Swati where they get content early on and then it's just to close off his story for the pre-merge?
Yeah, I could see him being like the merge boot. I think merge boot makes sense for him.
Yeah, possibly. Um, but I think the show, like Brandon's doing better than the show's letting on. Um, like Lauren and him are apparently really close according to Maddie. So that could be really
Mhm.
good for him. And then he has a really good relationship with Matthew and possibly I don't know about Jamie. Jamie just Jamie, and Kane's on the outs, and he wants to repair a relationship with Brandon. So Brandon actually seems to be one of the central people of the tribe, besides Matthew. So I don't know. We don't know everything about them. We know more about Tika, obviously, and even more we know about Soko this episode. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's Ratu.
Tika is like by far the most dynamic, like the most well developed tribe in the edit.
Hmm.
Like it's
I
not even
guess.
close.
I think it's somewhat close, actually, to be honest.
With Soka,
It
you
doesn't
being
seem
for
like
real?
the tribe isn't actually that developed. It's just the people individually. There's not
That's
much going on.
literally
We don't see much about the actual inner tribe dynamics in Tika. Actually, I
yes,
don't
we
think we know
do.
much
Yes, we
about
do.
that. Like we don't like
Literally
Sarah.
during the Helen boot, we got literally
Mhm.
all the like alliances on that tribe. We have the Carson, Yam Yam, and Carolyn
Okay,
alliance. That's like,
we know so much about the Soko tribe too now. Well,
what
their
do we
alliance.
know?
We know about
What
the
do we know
alliances.
about
We
the?
know where they stand. We know Heidi and Danny are close. We know that Danny, Heidi, and Josh have something together. We know that Matt and Franny
Yeah.
obviously have been really heavily explored upon on, and we know Ratu as well. Even though Ratu alliances is less to a less extent. Um, but yeah, then we move on. We move on to Soko with Matt and Franny talking about going on a road trip or whatever, and then it cuts off to the entire rest of the tribe planning against them, and then Danny's saying that their showmance makes his heart warm in two ways. One, that they're a great friendship, and then two, because they're making a big target of themselves, which is a great. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then Danny, Heidi, and Josh and Claire lock in a four-person alliance. They like do like a fist bump in the group, which obviously was
Mhm.
not going to work out because of the later events in the episode. And then we get this is another previously on Survivor recap where we see Danny finding his idol, and then he expands on it by saying that that he's hiding a fake idol now, and then he hides this fake silver coin idol, and yeah, he eats his clue apparently, which I don't think that actually happened, but it is what it is.
Werner from Soror, South Africa, Philippines.
Yeah, and
But
Danny goes on. Yeah, go
it
ahead.
wasn't an accident. It wasn't an accident like Werner.
Mm. Danny goes ninja stealth mode and hides a fake idol, the fake idol key, which is absolutely genius in three different ways. One, he's removing suspicion off himself, in that he could have the idol, like nobody's gonna think he has the idol anymore, right? And he's building trust with whoever finds it, because
Mhm.
he'll know, and then they'll have to trust him to not tell anybody, right? And then he puts a target on someone else when he snitches on Matt, obviously later on, who finds the idol. What do you think? Do
Yeah,
you agree with that? Yeah.
yeah. It's for someone I expecting us to be a big fan. That's definitely a very savvy movie, and it reminds me of people like Earl Cole who don't really watch the show, but like that are like very naturally good at the game. And I
Yeah, he
think
understands
Danny,
what to do with the idol. He played it really well. Like he thought really creatively with it, and it worked out for him better than Brandon could have ever thought. Right? With Brandon, he found that thing and he didn't do anything with it. Even
yeah,
Carolyn,
yeah.
like Carolyn hasn't done much with what she could have
Brandon
potentially
was
done.
so fucking stupid. Brandon, what was he doing? Like,
Brandon's a legend.
clearly, it's not gonna be fucking beans or anything. It's gonna be like some type of advantage. You dumb fuck.
And obviously, like based on the content we're getting with Ratu, Tika, and Soko, with how much content Soko's getting here and how much more like is actually tied to going to Tribal Council, we obviously like in retrospect, it's obvious that they were the ones that were gonna go to Tribal Council this episode. I think. Like you look back and you look at the content,
Yo,
Ratu was just fun, and then so was Tika's, I guess. And then another thing of note is Danny is the new Brad. Do you agree with that? Because I thought that, and then everyone else was thinking that too. Danny is
no,
the new Brad
I
Reese. You don't think
I
so?
think he's well, yeah, he is, but I think he's more like Mike Holloway. I think I
I think
see
he's
more
like
Mike.
I think he's like Brad in the sense that he's like really crazy, but he's actually like a more strategic version of Brad. Um, because
Yo, I
like
gotta be right back for two seconds, okay?
all right, that's fine. I'll just move on to Tika. So we get content from Tika about Jam Jam's snoring problem, and again, this is just more so unnecessary content, but it does add on to the complex tribe theory, I guess you could say, for them. Um, and I guess this lends to the theory that Tika will produce the eventual winner. Either way, like this fun talk turns into a moment of insight from Sarah, and she's talking about how she worries about her future in the game, which obviously I would be worried too, considering she was on the outs of the last vote and doesn't have a vote. Obviously, she has her inheritance advantage. Is a question about what she'll do with it. But it's not looking too good for Sarah, especially edit wise. If you play the edit as well, it's not looking too good. Um, Meanwhile, we go to Soko. and we get a humorous scene where the entire tribe is going on a group search for the idol that well, the key that Danny hid, and they're all miserably failing. I mean, we see Franny get scared of bugs, same goes for Claire, and Heidi just sits
I
there
am
at the cage and hopes for something to happen. Oh yeah, by the way, raccoon's back. So I'm on Soko right now, and we're talking about how Matt found the Matt finds the fake
Oh
idol
yeah.
that the fake key that Danny hid, and then immediately lies to Danny about finding it. What do you think he should have done there? He's like, he like frantically, he's
He
like,
didn't
Danny.
know, so like,
Yeah, he didn't know.
there's not much. Like, I can't really flaw that from him because he didn't know, right?
Yeah, but
So
honestly, like
he
this
thought it was
this
real.
this episode makes me concerned if you're a Pro player. Oh my God, Bryce is in the chat, by the way. But this this episode makes me concerned about if you're playing in the future Survivor. Like, are you even like why even look for an idol anymore when it has like a 50% chance of being a fake? And the majority of idols in the game right now are fake. There's 4-3, right? Is that 4-3? Am I right? 4-3
Yeah.
fake. Yeah. So why even look for one anymore when the ratio? Okay, can we mute Bryce? He joined the voice chat. We don't want to deal with him right now. Thank God. No,
No,
he's
give him a chance. Give him a
don't let
chance.
us.
Give him a chance.
Okay, fine. We'll let him
Bryce,
speak.
you're gonna behave yourself,
Right? Are you
okay?
gonna behave yourself?
Bryce, are you gonna
Okay.
behave?
Okay, Bryce. Okay.
This is
Anyways, this is
okay.
a bit messy, but we're talking. Okay. So Matt finds the fake idol that Danny hit. We talked about this already, and then Danny goes back and checks the spot to see if Matt actually found it when he asked him, and he finds that Matt pretty much lied. And so this leads into Danny outing Matt in front of Josh that he has the idol, and it was hilarious because we see some Dota music playing. Matt's getting like paranoid. When Josh walks off, Matt turns into Danny and is like, "Okay, guys, okay, dude, I actually found it. I'm being serious." So, and then he also privately confesses to Josh that he found the idol too. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I think it was like the right thing to do, but when it comes, like I've always said, Matt is like one of the top contenders. But like that didn't really help him because it made him
No,
look like a dodo. But
no.
I could, I don't know, man. Like I could. It also kind of
I'm in
helps
call
his
right now, Bryson.
storyline
Go.
where he said that he would like fail and shit a whole bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
So it I think he'll be okay. I think Matt is still making a deep run, but his winning chances are a bit lower after that. But I still
Yeah,
think
Matt
he's
has unfortunately
definitely.
been clowned on this entire time. I'm not gonna lie.
I
Like he
think,
has
but I
no
still think
vote.
he's a contender. I still think
I
he's
don't
a
think so.
contender.
I don't think he's a contender.
Especially
Can
of the
you?
people that aren't Yam Yam, Carolyn, and Carson, like out of the Tika, like
Yeah, but that's
big
out of
three on
default at
Tika.
that point. You're literally just eliminating 4 different people, 5 different people that have a shot. So, like, can you
Yeah.
imagine Matt sitting at tribal council, final tribal council, and saying that, okay, guys, vote for. Like, can you imagine him sitting even there? Like, I can't imagine him actually making a serious case for himself. It's like
Yeah.
laughable. Um,
Mm.
yeah, and but the one good thing for for Matt though is when Josh was in confessional talking about Matt finding an idol and confessing to him. Josh seemed overall positive about Matt. That's a good thing, actually. What do you think? I think that
Yeah.
was a good thing. Like he was talking about how he's happy and they were cheering together, and he's happy that Matt told the truth, which I think is good for Matt. Like, is the one redeeming quality for Matt this
Yeah.
episode. And then obviously the problem though is that Matt tells pretty much everyone about the idol, and Danny, who obviously knows that Matt has the idol and is the main perpetrator behind this, snitches to Heidi that Matt found the idol. So pretty much everyone in the tribe that's still in the game now, because we obviously know Claire gets booted, everyone knows that he has the idol or the fake idol. Um, so I
Hmm.
thought, yeah, it's not good. And honestly, like if you want to know the truth, in some ways, Danny finding the idol and then hiding the fake idol to help Matt, like it actually kind of helps Matt short term. What
Yeah,
do you think? Do you agree?
I think it does. I mean, I question, like it seemed like it didn't fully work out. I get the move, like to begin with, of Danny, like I don't want anyone to think I have an idol, so I'm going to put this target off my back. I think that's, I think perfectly fine. I think that's, it's yeah, it's good, it's a good move, but I think kind of the outcome of it wasn't his best scenario at the end of the day. I don't know. We'll have to see, but
No, I think it was a good scenario for him, but I actually think someone else played it better, and we're gonna talk about them briefly. But yeah, what you're saying is true. Like you look at Josh's confessional, he's like, okay, Matt found the idol, so now we can't target him as easily. So obviously, he kind of helped Matt in a way by accident. It's like Australian Survivor. We're not covering Australian Survivor, but Simon had the fake idol, and nobody wanted to target him because of that, right?
Yeah.
Everyone thought he has a
Yeah,
real idol,
that's
so they're
true.
not gonna target him. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, pretty much. It's the exact same thing.
And if Danny tries to target Matt, they might think he's like stupid because everyone knows he has an idol.
Yeah, and yeah, like
Well,
pretty much at this point,
This could work out for him. This could definitely work out for him.
yeah, this could work out for him long term, but short term, it's actually gonna help Matt stay in the game longer a bit, like for at least the meanwhile, just like Simon. So yeah, then we go to Raw 2, and we see Jamie eating a raw worm, which is something that Bryce would absolutely do tenfold on the island.
I would not. I would not do that. I've told
You
understand
would
this.
be like JC. I mean, GC from Gabon. On the reunion, he said that when he ran away, he said he was looking for a Popeyes. You would run away looking for a Wawa.
I've never been to Popeyes. That's what you would do.
For a Wawa. You'd be looking for a Wawa, Bryce.
Bryce will be
No,
looking
I
for a
wouldn't.
Wawa, but all he'll find is, he
The
can't find
worm.
anything out there. Yeah, Bryce, if
All
he
right.
goes on the island, we're gonna see a world record for the most lost, if you know what I'm saying. But well, anyways,
Yeah, I'll lose more than Big Tom.
yep, and yeah, so and then we see the iconic scene of this episode, which is Matthew leading Jamie to a fake idol that he planted,
Yeah, that was
and he
great.
lets her find it. And I actually think, okay, I'm gonna make the argument that I think that what Matthew did was better than what Danny did. What do you guys think? Do you agree?
I 100% agree. 100%.
Because what he's doing right now is he's actually making Jamie find it, and he's conceding fake power to her, which is making her feel better about working with Matthew. And Matthew's keeping this a secret. He's building trust with Jamie, whereas Danny kind of did it in like a really messy way with with Matt. On the other side, he was like making him feel like kind of uncomfortable with how he was exposing him in front of Josh. I think that was not a good thing. But like with what Matthew's doing is really good because now he can use that as leverage in the future against Jamie. And obviously
I
Jamie's not
agree.
even a threat. Jamie's not a threat to be honest. So like I don't know why he chose Jamie of all people, but
She's a TikToker.
Yeah, she's a
Jamie's
TikToker.
just an easy number.
Yeah,
Jamie's
Jamie is an easy number, but you don't have to do this idol stuff with her though. I don't think. You
But
can
I
do it with
think
someone else.
Jamie's like a floater, so like she would just float to whoever has power, and whoever she trusts the most, and making her trust you the most gives you a valuable number.
Yeah.
Now she's gonna be like Matt's lackey or whatever.
Yeah, Matt's goat.
I mean, Jamie was gonna be whoever's lackey that fed her a worm first, right? She was gonna be whoever's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also get another answer here about what was production going to do if the idol was played from the idol cage, and we saw that it was hidden back in the jungle instead of actually being hidden in the cage. What do you guys think about that? I'm personally apathetic. I don't really care what they do.
No, I don't like that.
You don't like it?
that.
Okay.
I'm honestly
I think
cool
they
with
should
it.
keep reusing the idol cage because now that people like Brandon, he would know about it, so he would like watch it and like
Okay.
potentially get some drama out of that.
So you don't support them rehiding it? You think they should have just rehid the key and then rehid the idol in the cage? Right?
Yeah, rehid the key.
Bryce, what do you think?
It kind of like it doesn't really matter. It's not like the end of the world if you do it either way. So like it doesn't really matter honestly to me.
Yeah, I'm personally like Bryce. I'm on the Bryce train here for once. I agree with Bryce.
Choo-choo.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
Bryce.
had to do that.
But yeah, that's what we see before we go to the challenge. And the challenge again, we get to the challenge, which is obviously our least favorite parts of the show. Like we don't hate challenges, but we just don't really care much for them.
That's you, buddy. That's you, buddy.
Care about
I love
challenges?
what.
You watch?
Yeah, I like challenges.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't
okay,
watch
now I'm
for-
speaking for
don't
myself, I guess.
I don't watch for the challenges.
really care.
I just think they're good TV.
Yeah, they're good to
I
me.
mean-
I'm just saying that they're not my favorite part of the show, right? Like they're not obviously my least favorite part of the show, probably compared to everything else.
I enjoy it personally.
Okay, but
There's some good challenge moments and some bad. Okay, not really a lot of bad, but they're okay. Yeah, never mind. Just continue.
And by the way, this challenge, we do have some good challenge moments here. We have Claire obviously setting up her boot here by sitting out again, and then having Jeff ask her why, and then she's like, "Okay, I'm putting aside my ego, whatever," which is obviously going to lead to her getting voted out. Obviously, we know that. And obviously the immunity challenge is for not only immunity but also for a reward, which is fruit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mhm.
yeah,
Awards, whatever.
the challenge is pretty typical. It's like you jump in the water, you swim, you get a key, and then you have to work a puzzle.
But they did use a new element. They used that big cube.
The
Oh, they
stacks
have
of
flip.
puzzles, the color, different sides. Yeah.
No,
Well, what?
that wasn't new.
Oh yeah,
When
the
they're in the
cube to
ocean,
like the ladder
they're
thing where you get to climb up
yeah, they're
and get the key.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
thought that
okay.
was cool. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I thought that's fine. Like honestly, I like that idea. Imagine it's like this is like level design. If you know what level design is, you're designing a video game.
Mhm.
Like, why not have that be used throughout the entire challenge? Like, you have to use it at different sections to like unlock different things, and you have to take that with you the entire time. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think the challenge
Yeah.
department does a good job though. But yeah, so we get like a humorous scene with the puzzle section of the challenge. Obviously, we have the Raw 2 tribe win immunity, right? And they have their challenge finished.
Yeah.
But then the other two tribes are like looking over and sneaking. And then me and Raccoon were like, okay. I was
This is
like,
bullshit.
yeah,
That's bullshit.
okay, yeah, that first of all, they should not be able to look. But second of all, it's funny how Matt and Franny were able to look and they didn't knock it over. Like, knock it over so the other tribe can't see. What do you think? Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should knock it over.
Yeah. Or like body block them. Try to get in their way so they
Or
can't
just
see
like
it properly.
switch it, like mess it up or something.
Can I have a counter to that? Can I have a counter to that?
Okay, go ahead. Counter.
Like, all right, I in a way I do agree with you, but in a way I disagree in the fact that like you know, if you knock it over, it's in a way it's kind of a dick move, and
I agree.
mean
That is
it
true.
could
That is
hurt
a-
you in the future. It
I
could.
think Jeff Probst should have knocked it over so they could have a fair challenge.
Yeah, if Jeff Probst knocks
Yeah.
it over, it's more fair because nobody's getting blamed within the game for what they're doing. If Jeff
And
knocks
also,
it,
it's
like,
like
you know.
bad like jury management and like management of the people when you go to the merge because they'll be like mad at you because you did that.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
That's what the two sides of coins are. Again, it's a short term move or long term move. Do you
But-
short term win immunity and not lose a number, or do you long term break your trust with the
Impossible to
jury?
have someone hate you.
We
Yeah.
did see we did see on 43 the everyone ganging up on the blue tribe, Coco, and Coco wasn't like mad at the people on red. On
Yeah,
the
but
merge,
not everybody
right?
acts the same way. So you
Yeah.
can't just look at one example and
Yeah.
say, okay.
You're right.
Exactly what Bart said. Exactly.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, it's like a one time. Like again, the first HOH thing, we might have a debate about it. We don't know, but it's the same argument there. We'll get to that when we need to. This is not Big Brother. But also another thing of note is that Matthews again we see like a shoulder injury at play here, where he's like, okay, my shoulder, guys, I can't dig, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, so obviously Matt and Franny possibly costed themselves the challenge by not knocking over the thing. Which again, we talked about the pros and cons of doing that, so we can't even blame them because they both survived the tribal council. So who cares, right? At this point, like no
Mhm.
harm, no foul. And yeah, Carson and Jam Jam win. And then yeah, so the immunity winners are the Tika tribe and the Bratu tribe, the orange and purple.
And I
Kane
thought
goes-
there was a fun moment.
Yeah, Kane
and when
getting
the-
knighted by Jeff, right?
Yeah,
That
Kane
yeah.
getting you know
That was
yeah.
awesome.
You know most people don't really like Kane, but Kane's actually one of my favorites on this season.
Who doesn't
You
like
know
Kane?
why?
He's amazing. He's fun.
Twitter doesn't like him. Twitter thinks he's kind of annoying.
How is he annoying?
He's
just being
cringe, but
himself.
like in a funny way. In a,
I like him because he kind of reminds me of myself. You know, I
yeah.
was just like kind of nerdy guy. But
He
like,
dresses
had
like
some
Sam
kind
from Total Drama, if you know who I'm talking about.
yeah,
Am I wrong?
Yeah,
Come on.
you're kind of right, but not fat. He's not fat like Sam,
I'm not saying he's. I'm just saying he dresses like you see the same beige
Yeah.
outfit or whatever.
and he has similar hair. Similar hair.
Yeah, and they have like
Yeah.
they kind of have a similar vibe to them too, I guess. I don't know.
He's fun TV. He's good
Yeah, I
casting.
like he's like a one dimensional, but he's fun. Like he's like this like they're making him one dimensional in that he's like this nerd
He's,
super
he's
fan.
kind of
whatever.
like an underdog. He's kind of like an underdog,
Yeah.
but an underdog that isn't like the most rootable in the world, but he's still cool.
No, he's in my
He-
opinion
he's
he's
not-
rootable. What's unrootable about him? It's just like the small niche of Twitter that doesn't like him.
he's just like kind of shady. Like in the last episode when people were like sketched out by him because he was looking for the key.
Oh yeah, and then he finds a crab in an area that wasn't even look like for the firewood or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the challenge. And so we go back to camp and you know, we see Franny start crying in the water and like splashing the water like an angry baby. It is what it is. And meanwhile, Josh and Danny discuss tribe strength, and this is where we first see that Claire is being targeted because they're like, okay, Franny and Heidi are both contributing and both strong in challenges, whereas Claire isn't because she's sitting out, right? And obviously, this kind of started the discussion of, okay, well, why are women being targeted in Survivor more than men pre-jury? Do you guys hear that on Twitter? Like that was a big discussion. And
I wasn't that one.
well, I think Raccoon's privy to that. I'm not sure though. But honestly, I don't think that that's really the case, and we'll talk about it. But like, yeah, and then so Danny tells Claire that Matt is a target. So he's playing both sides here, and he's obviously with Matt and Franny in this situation because he tells Matt and Franny that okay, we're voting, we're telling Claire to vote for you, but we're not voting for you. We're voting for Claire unanimously. We're dumping on Claire, right? So what do you guys think about that so far?
Yeah, Claire sucks. Claire's really bad. She does. She's literally one of the most lazy players ever, and that's probably how she was raised. She was probably raised with rich
Okay, we're not
parents.
gonna assume people's backgrounds. Okay, come on. That's
No, we are, because
No.
this is no. Shut up. Let me say what I want to say. She seems like the type of person who grew up wealthy and didn't have to work a day in her life, and now she's a
Oh my
what, like
lord.
a like what is her job again? It's the type venture capitalist. She's a fucking venture capitalist. I mean, she doesn't do shit. She's fucking lazy as hell, and that's exactly how she played the
Whoa!
game.
Do you even know what a
What
venture
is a
capitalist
venture
is?
capitalist?
It's
She's
someone
lazy as hell, and that's exactly how she played. She sat. She played the same amount of challenges as Bruce. Like, come on.
Okay, the basic definition of venture capitalist is someone that basically helps fund startups, like startup companies, right? So they get like
Okay.
presented some information or whatever about a company, and they decide whether what they want to give money to them so they can start a business or whatever, right?
Yeah,
That's
that's
what they do.
fucking easy. I mean, that's literally easy. Easy.
Again, she went
Do
under.
you have to do it? You don't have to do that much on that job. I'm sure.
I don't know how much education is required for that job, to be honest.
You know
But
what? Most white collar jobs are like. Well, I'm not gonna say that, but yeah. She seems like a lazy person in real life, and that's exactly how she played the game. And she thought she would. She was probably popular in high school, so she thought everything would be given to her
okay,
in the game.
Raccoon. We don't need to go into
That's
tangent
why-
with Claire because Claire, like, look, I don't even like Claire as a player or whatever, but I'm not gonna hate that much, even though I was the biggest Claire hater pre-season. But
If
yeah,
you're gonna,
like,
can I say
well,
something?
sure.
If you're gonna rant about any Survivor female, rant about Sharin.
Oh my God, we don't have to get into that either.
We're not
okay?
going in that. Sorry.
And yeah, so obviously, we hear some rumblings about possibly flipping the vote on Josh. And just based on the edit and in retrospect, I'm gonna be honest, going into Tribal Council, I thought Josh was going home. I don't even know why. When I look back, it's so obvious that Claire was going home. Because Josh hasn't even got his story presented yet. We see in the premiere, he's like, I should not even be alive right now. Remember Josh said that premiere? I don't know if you guys remember that. He said that.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, then
Yeah.
they have to show his story so the viewers can actually understand why. So they haven't even shown it yet. So obviously he's gonna stay. And that was just a mistake on my part for me to assume that he's not gonna go. For me to assume that he's gonna go home here.
But Josh isn't winning, so
Yeah,
I
Josh
get
is not
why
gonna
you
win.
thought that.
Josh is at the bottom of my ranking. Like, he is
Yeah.
no chance. He is
Yeah.
0% chance.
Yeah. So by the way, Matt and Franny snitched to Claire that Josh and Danny are targeting her, and she thinks that Danny's just an idiot that's following Josh, and thinks that Josh is the mastermind, which is obviously the incorrect read based on what we're being presented with, right? So, and after this, they're like, okay, so Matt can't vote. It's only 4 people voting. Sorry, 5 people voting. So they have to get 3, and if they have Claire and Franny, then they need Heidi, and they obviously go out to flip Heidi. And obviously, again, Claire, all she did was cry and sit down again, sit out. She cried, begging Heidi to vote with her, and it obviously didn't work. So, and this is the first time we see Claire throw around the idea of playing her shot in the dark, right? So at this point, what did you guys think was gonna happen at Tribal Council? If you guys can remember, did you guys think that Claire was going home or Josh?
I thought it was Josh. Like, I was saying in the chat how I thought it was gonna be Josh. But after
Yeah.
she played her shot in the dark, and it didn't
Yeah.
go through. Like I was actually expecting it to like work, and Josh to
No, the
go
way
home.
they were playing the music, it was like new music. So I was like, okay, maybe it'll work. But then I'm like, okay, once it didn't
Yeah.
work, I'm like, okay, bye, goodbye, Claire, you're done.
And
It's
honestly,
over.
it would probably be pretty good if it did work. I think that would lead to a good next episode if it did
Oh
work.
my
but
God, yeah.
Oh,
It is what it is. It is what it is. Claire goes
Honestly,
home. She
yeah.
goes home because she's lazy. I don't know.
No, come on, we can't assume. We only saw like so little. But we'll talk
Well,
about
I'm
if Claire's.
assuming.
Yeah.
I am.
So And yeah, Claire throws around the idea of playing a shot in the dark, and obviously she's not gonna. She's obviously gonna play the shot in the dark because considering she loves sitting out of things, and she wants to sit out the vote here too. But yeah, Heidi informs Danny about how the vote is gonna be between Josh and Claire. So this leads to a conversation at the well where Danny, Heidi, and Franny are discussing the vote between Josh and Claire, and Danny and Franny seem to actually be civil. They're not actually like really that adamant about where they're gonna go. So they're like, okay, Heidi, whatever you do, we'll vote with you because they want to make it a unanimous vote, seemingly. And the last thing we see before Tribal Council is Heidi, of all people, who's like seems like one of the most boring people in the cast, weighing her options about who to vote as they head to the Tribal Council. Okay. So obviously at this point, I think most of us were thinking Josh was gonna go home, just based on I don't know why we're thinking that, honestly, but it is what it is. And so
Probably.
yeah, Bryce.
Sorry, I was gonna say honestly, I think it could have been better for her game to have to keep Claire. I think it could have because I don't know. It feels like to me, you know, like feels. Is Danny close with Josh? Because it kind of felt like it.
Yeah, but I think Danny and Claire and Heidi are really close too, as said by Claire in exit interview. So I think that honestly, Heidi had a good reason to vote for Claire out here. Honestly, because
Yeah.
Danny trusts her, and I think Danny's kind of a link and bridge to Josh as well here. So obviously those three are gonna be together. I think that's actually a good thing, to be honest. Honestly. So yeah, we go to
Yo,
Tribal Council. What was that?
Never mind. Don't worry.
No, go
about
ahead.
it.
Go ahead. We want to hear.
I was gonna talk about something off topic, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, thank God. Anyways, we go to Tribal Council, and obviously questions, as always, aren't anything of note. I would rather see more camp content than questions because most of the questions nowadays are people just playing around each other and like trying to hide stuff. I guess, right?
I agree. The only time like tribal council is actually good is if there's like a live tribal, which we haven't seen in
No,
fucking two
but a lot
seasons.
of people don't even like live tribals in the first place.
I love live tribals. I love them.
I'm indifferent. I'm actually higher on live tribal than most fans are, to be honest.
I actually I like them because it's like it's all of a sudden you get all this like extra chaos that goes around.
Yeah, but it does kind of damage the story because like you don't want to see things flip live at Tribal Council and diminish everything that's been talked about at camp, in my opinion, right?
I kind of
I
like
don't know.
chaos.
Yeah, I know, but it kind of like derails the story and like everything that
Yeah.
leads up to the Tribal Council, because like everything leading up to Tribal Council is meaningless if we can all just change it at Tribal Council live. I don't know. That's what most people think.
Yeah, that's true. Ow.
So,
Poke myself
yeah.
in the eye.
And then Claire, obviously, Tribal Council. Most of the conversation just about Claire like sitting out of challenges, and she's like, okay, well, she's like, it's unfortunate that the tribe didn't let her prove herself when she's the one that's choosing to sit out the challenges, right? Like, bruh.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. It's like she's playing the victim here. Like, you're the one that's choosing to sit out the challenges. You're the one that's justifying why you're sitting out. And before the vote, Claire asks for Heidi where she's gonna go, and Heidi says she's staying where she is. And that's when we know that okay, Claire's probably going home because she plays a shot in the dark and gets out unanimously after not having it work. And
Yeah,
that's pretty much
after
Claire. What do you guys think about Claire as a player?
Claire's she didn't play well this season, but I think she could have potential in another season if she realizes all she has to do is fucking do anything.
I agree.
Not play so fucking passively and actually play some challenges, and you might have done well, honey. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why Twitter loves her so much. Like, she's literally just.
I know. Can I answer
Bryce,
that?
we don't need you to. Don't be.
She's
I was
literally
gonna say,
just someone who
email.
does
Bryce, be very
nothing.
PC about this. Okay, be very
Sorry.
PC.
She did nothing and she got nothing in return. That's how the
She
world.
seems like a lovely woman.
Okay, Bryce.
Twitter likes her because they see them in her as someone who doesn't do anything and then gets nothing in return, and all they do is cry on Twitter.
And Bart's asking me to be PC.
Yeah. I mean,
Sorry.
Bro,
so,
I told a supervisor about the podcast, and hopefully none of them see this. But
okay, but wait. So Claire, we know. Guys, what do you think about this episode? Was it the best episode we've seen so far?
No, not the best. The premiere
For
was
me, it actually
the best.
was.
Oh,
Honestly.
Explain.
I think
Explain why you like it more than.
I feel like the lead up to the boot I feel like the lead up to the boot, the conversations at camp, and the exploration of the relationships at Soko, I liked it actually a lot. I like Danny's scene. I like Matthew's scene. I just liked it all. I don't know why.
You like Kane.
I like Kane. I like Kane. I like Kane as well. Yeah.
Can I count the second half of the premiere as an episode? If so, that's still my favorite.
No, Bryce, you have to count the
No,
actual whole
Bryce.
episode of itself.
Because it has like one proper vote out, so it means it's one episode.
Okay,
And it's called episode 1, and then episode 2.
fair
And-
enough. Fair.
Okay, so who do you guys think was the biggest winner of this tribal council? Mine is obviously Danny, right? We all agree Danny's the biggest winner.
Maybe Matt, honestly, because he literally, you know why? Because he
Why?
got to keep him. So yeah, he found the fake idol, it kept him safe. But here's the thing: he has his vote lost for two rounds, and literally nothing happened. He literally got his way. You know?
No, you're way
with-
too
with-
high on Matt, okay? And I'll tell you why. Because Matt,
Fuck! No, I'm really high on him. I think he's gonna win. He's my winner
but
pick.
Matt didn't even
Here's
get his
my-
way here. At least seemingly in the edit. Like,
Did? Yes, he did.
No.
How did he not get his way?
Matt and Franny were targeting Josh, and they seemingly wanted to get Josh out, and then
Yeah, and
they
they
caved
changed
to
their
hide these
mind.
demands. So Danny won this tribal council more so than they did, because Danny not
Yeah.
only put the target on Matt for the future, but he also got his way. So I think
Maybe you're-
Danny was the clear winner.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Bryce, what do you think? Bryce?
Bryce.
Matt and Danny. Matt and Danny. Yeah.
Bryce, you know what I'm talking.
No, I do.
Bryce,
Pretty much as
Bryce-
anyone who didn't
Bryce-
get
Bryce
voted
is
out.
just
in
like the
my-
draft. This is just like the draft. Bryce is just parroting other opinions.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, anyone who did. I mean, everyone for not getting voted out except for Claire.
But Bryce, don't you understand when people come out of tribal council, they come out in different positions than others, and they're obviously set up better and worse.
Yeah,
You
I would say Danny probably. I mean, look, Danny seemed like he still has hit himself and Heidi. So like, yeah, Danny. Yeah.
Raccoon, did you see any of the exit interviews or just anything at all? Like even one?
No,
snippet?
I don't watch.
I didn't.
that.
I
You would
remember
tell-
two things from exit interviews just by listening to them, like not even like mindlessly. Is that Claire was apparently suspicious that Danny's idol was fake, the Matthew idol, which I don't believe. I think she's just lying to gas herself up. Honestly, I don't think she's actually being serious about that. And then also that Claire said that there's more reasons to why she got out than her sitting out of challenges. Is that she was a threat to the Danny's game and whatever, right? Which also proves more to the point that okay, well, women are not getting targeted because of 6 tribes and challenges. They're just not playing the game as well. It's just true. And
I
you look at-
agree with you.
you look at all the
I agree
stats.
with
You look at the new era. You look at 41. First boot is Abraham. That's someone who they would have kept if they were being tribe strong, right? And Tiffany stays.
Yeah.
You look at the second boot, Sarah Wilson, voted out because she stepped up in the puzzle. And you know who else stepped up in the puzzle and got voted out for it? Zach. So it's like the same thing. And then you look at the third boot, Voce. Voce's another person that was strength over Tiffany, right? And then you got Brad. Right?
Brad
So-
just made a really bad mistake. He could have so easily got like this. It so pisses me off how he literally could have won that season if he just
no.
got JD. If he got JD.
I wish it was
If
that
he-
obvious.
No, listen to me. If he got JD and Genie on his side to vote out Ricard, and then he just gives his like he had to steal a vote, right?
Yeah.
He gives that to Genie. She plays that. They vote out Ricard. And Ua probably wins another challenge, or Brad and Genie are just the final two of Ua.
And that's another
Like-
thing. You're right. You to your point. You were absolutely correct. They were targeting Ricard, not Sarah. So it would have been 3 guys in a row. If Brad got out fourth, it would have been 4 guys in a row. So like the point is invalid. And then you look at season 42. Season 42, the first boot was Jackson, who got medevac, so we obviously can't include him. And the real first boot was Zach. Okay, for the same reason as Sarah, pretty much. Second boot was Mariah, right? Am I
Mariah.
right? Mariah.
It was Mariah.
And
Pretty
I don't
forgettable.
remember, I
She
don't
didn't
remember all
really-
the details behind that tribal council, right? But we know that
It
Jonathan,
was-
Lindsay, and Omar were close, and then Omar was obviously with Marianne, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, if Mariah had, if Jackson had not got medevac, then we would have voted out Jackson over Mariah, right? Is that what we know?
Yeah, it would have been the same, pretty much.
And the
so.
third boot, who was the third boot again? I forgot. I honestly forgot a lot of.
Give me a
42
sec.
booters.
It was from Ika, right? Was it? No.
Uh,
Well,
Tati.
was
it was
Swati.
Jenny.
Jenny. any
Oh,
challenge.
yeah, no,
That
that's
was the whole thing. Like that was so bullshit.
That was
Let's
not
be
because of
honest.
unconscious bias or anything. Okay, I'm gonna be honest.
That
You
was
can't say
bullshit.
that's
That was
unconscious bias.
bullshit. That was so bullshit.
that was
Yeah.
that was just a whole nother thing, and she got very unlucky, honestly. So
Yeah, but even
That
if they did
vote-
get unlucky and the intended boot could have gone, which was Lydia, like that's not because of tribe challenges. That was just because Lydia
That
was not
vote
getting it
was
with anybody.
dependent on Chanel losing her vote and Mike having the Beware advantage, so they couldn't
Yeah.
vote.
Okay, and then we move on to 43. So we're just analyzing each season to prove these people on Twitter wrong. 43. First boot was I already forgot, honestly.
it was Mariah. It was
Mariah.
the
Okay, and Mariah,
Rainbow
maybe
hair.
that one I'd give it some credence. Okay, whatever. That one.
Yeah,
just whatever.
yeah.
Second boot. Who was
43
it?
was a match.
Second boot was
It
who?
second move
was
was what's her name? Begins
But
with
look,
J.
Justine.
First boot was Mariah, but they wanted to get out
Janine.
Gabler, but he
Owen.
did the idol thing,
Owen.
right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Owen,
yeah.
yeah, as well. So like, it's just like it's not because of these kind of like unconscious whatever garbage, okay? Second boot was who? Justine.
Justine. She's
And
really
Justine is someone that
forgettable.
they like. Look, Justine.
She got voted out for being a salesperson.
Yeah.
Got her out.
And you know who they kept over her? NECA, who was the weaker person you consider. So that's just another thing
Yeah.
again. And then who was the third boot? Who was the third boot?
Nika, but you challenge strength.
Yeah, NECA again. And that's just because they
But-
had to at that point. You don't want to keep going to tribal council.
Literally, she played. They lost 2 challenges in a row because she was so incompetent at the puzzles.
Yeah, like it wasn't even the actual like physical challenge itself. It was the puzzle that she blew. It was the part that she was supposed to be good at.
Both of them, twice in a row.
Exactly,
She blew the puzzle
exactly.
twice in a row.
And it's just invalid. Like everything they're saying on Twitter is garbage. They're just trying to make excuses for themselves when they play and they lose miserably. Who was the fourth boot?
That was.
Oh, it was Lindsay.
Gio?
Who?
Lindsay, right?
Lindsay. And
Lindsay.
Lindsay played herself out of the game. Lindsay did
Yeah,
that
Lindsay
herself.
did that to herself.
And then Gio,
Gio was
Gio
just bad
just-
as well. Gio was just bad.
Gio
as well.
was a terrible player.
Yeah,
and
no.
Then we look at this season. That was 41, 42, 43. So we already debunked those guys. And let's look at 44.
Bruce, let's skip Bruce.
Bruce got medevac, so we can't even include him because he didn't get voted out for any reason. He just got medevac because he hit his head on bamboo. Maddie was the majority voted out. Brandon was the majority voted out, right? And then Brandon played his idol.
Yeah.
Maddie got an idol. What's it called? Got idol out.
Yeah, and if
But
Maddie
I-
played it better, she could have split on Matthew and Brandon and saved herself, but she didn't, right? So it was on her. And
Yeah.
she was openly targeting Matthew and then started working with Matthew, and that just obviously turned off Matthew. So obviously she's gonna get voted out there. And then and then after Maddie, it's Helen. And Helen is not unconscious bias or anything. It's just because they didn't want to vote with, like, they didn't trust her, right? I don't even know what the reason was, to be honest. We don't have that much of a clear sense. It's just that Carson didn't trust Helen.
I think I can tell you because Carson probably just bonded more with Jam and Carol, and so yeah, that's probably just why.
Yeah, and Bruce was already medevac from the tribe, so they're obviously having to work with like whatever they could. They can't just go back to tribal council again, right? And they only have Carson and Jam Jam for males on the tribe. Why would they vote out Carson? Why would they vote out Jam Jam? They're just actively playing better than the other three at that point.
Yeah.
Right? And then we look at the most recent boot, which is Claire, who self-admittedly says there was more to why she got voted out than sitting out of the challenge. She said that Danny saw her for a threat that she was. So honestly, everything that Twitter is saying is absolute garbage. They can go to RHAP and listen to RHAP justify their garbage so they can feel better and subscribe and give them money, but that's their choice.
RJP is the liberal. We are the like conservative.
we're not anything. We're not being liberal.
We're like the ones we're not like being PC or whatever. We don't care.
No, we are
right?
being
We
we're
don't
being fair. We're being fair. We're honestly looking at the stats and giving you the real reasons. I understand why Twitter is saying what they're saying, but it's not true. You look at the actual stats, you look at the actual data, and
they're just so mad that their favorites keep getting voted out. But like, why not just pick favorites that are good players? Like, I don't
No,
understand.
you don't have to do that. I support players that are bad. I like Brad. I like these people that are crazy. It's more fun. But I'm
Brad's
not gonna make
under.
an excuse for them and say that they're like robbed and they're getting targeted for unconscious.
Yeah, I've never once said that JD or Ace or any of my favorite pre-mergers like Dave Cruiser were robbed.
And it's unfair to say that it's an unconscious bias because what you're doing is you're straw manning. You're making an easier argument to beat. You're saying, okay, you have unconscious biases you can't even understand. How is anybody even supposed to debate that when you're saying that they don't even understand what they're talking about? And you can say whatever you want pretty much to make it like, okay, you have unconscious biases, you can't even control your thoughts and whatever. Like it's garbage.
We're like a less racist version of the
Stop.
Survivor Special podcast.
Stop. Stop.
No,
We're
let's
not
be
gonna.
honest.
We're not
That's-
going after Soraya Spencer. We're not. With Soraya Spencer, he's a nice guy. He's honestly nice. I'm not gonna hate
No,
him.
he's
No,
I
um.
think
let's just not talk. Okay, we're moving on to the next time on Survivor. Okay, the next time
Oh,
on
I didn't
hopefully
Survivor.
watch it.
swap. Hopefully swap. Sorry.
I didn't watch the next time.
Yeah,
around.
I'll recap it for you
Uh,
guys. It was not that important. Honestly, it was
It
unremarkable.
just didn't show up on my TV. I don't know.
Yeah, it was. Franny was meditating with the tribe, and Heidi says he doesn't even see it coming. I don't know who she's referring to. So that's what that's what they
You're
do in the
referring to herself.
he. She said
Bum,
he doesn't,
bum,
so it's probably a
bum.
man. So I don't know. It could
Bro,
even
it's
be.
probably like
It could even be. Oh yeah, it can't be Jamie because Jamie's a girl.
it could be like Matt. It could be like Matt.
Yeah, it could be Matt. But the camera panned onto Josh when she said that, so it can obviously be like a mislead, right? It can be a misdirection, red herring.
Yeah,
And then
like
the only other notable.
usually
Yeah,
in the
go ahead.
promo, if they say someone's getting targeted, they usually don't go home. Very
Well,
rarely
that's
do
not
they.
always true. That's not always true.
No, it's pretty common.
I can
If they're
name you an
if they're
example. I can
mentioning-
name you one at least, and that's Bradley.
Okay.
You look at the preview for that. It's like they're making it so obvious.
because Bradley had like a huge downfall. That's like the whole point of
That
that
is true.
episode.
And the only other notable thing is that you talked about earlier is that Carson drawing out of a hat, and then a boat arriving to the Soko camp. So I'm pretty sure it's like the China thing that you said, this China swap.
Yeah,
Where they all switch one.
but it's like I'm assuming it's like the kidnapping, but it's more random.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
want.
just
I don't want to try to swap. I want a real damn swap.
yeah. I'm not
Sorry.
even a fan of the swap myself. I prefer like if they're gonna do swap, do the Gabon swap, which is like the one good thing you'll hear out of Gabon from me is that I like Gabon. I'm joking.
Gabon is the
I'm
top
joking. Gabon
tier
is good.
season.
Gabon is good. Gabon is fun.
10 out of 10, absolutely no flaws. Every episode is pretty good. You know,
Okay.
the episode where GC runs away is might be my favorite pre-merge episode ever.
Yeah. And
Because they
by the
have that
way,
scene where they find the elephant. It's pretty cool.
Speaking of GC, I'm not gonna say anything, but guys, we're gonna make a pre-juror casting video soon as well. Okay, so get ready for that.
Yeah.
Get
Yo,
ready for that.
I'm be honest, I really wanted to put GC on my cast, but I couldn't get enough spots. It's so sad.
Spoiler
I was so
alert:
sad.
I did.
Oh,
put him.
good job.
Well,
But
actually, I
you're-
did consider him. I'm not saying I did. Okay, we're gonna talk about that when we get to that. Okay.
Good soldier. Good soldier. He was like number 11. I did like eight guys, 8 women. He was number 9.
Oh, you mean 9 because
Like-
we're doing 18. 9.
Oh, he was number 10. He was number 10. He barely missed the cut. He barely
All right.
missed the cut.
So yeah, like we talk about the next one Survivor, we see the China swap, and I honestly am not a fan of it because you're screwing over 3 people because they're getting swapped onto the tribe where people have already got like what 7 days or how many days has it been so far? We don't even know. 6, 7.
Yeah,
whatever.
but it's not like the kidnapping where they steal the people. It's just like a normal swap. It's random who gets swapped over. So
Yeah, but
I
it's
don't
still
know.
not a good thing. You just swap one over.
If
Like, at least
it's enough
swap 2
player-
over. Swap 2 over. That'd be more interesting
Yeah,
at least.
I agree. You swap 2 over. But I think if they're a good enough player, they'll be able to adapt to their new tribe.
Okay. So after this episode, who do you guys think is the most winner potential? Who has the most winner potential in the team?
I think Jam.
Bryce? Actually, no. Bryce,
Yeah.
do not speak. Bryce, do not speak. No, Bryce, never mind. Forget that.
Bryce saw a spoiler.
I-
Bryce saw a fake spoiler, but we don't know if it's true or not. Okay, we're not gonna talk about that. Okay, but Bryce,
It was a spoiler that said Kane was going in episode 2, so
you don't
that's
need to
clearly.
hear it, everybody. Nobody wants to hear that.
No, he hasn't gone in the last 2 episodes. It's clearly fake. Like, come on.
Okay, well, we don't have to talk about that. Okay, we need to speak about even fake spoilers. But
I gotta use the spoiler tag in VC.
I think that Matthew has a good chance of winning. Sorry, yeah, Matthew. Matthew has a good shot. I think he has good enough content that will suffice for like a long time.
What
I
about
can see-
Franny? What do you
No,
think?
Franny's
for Franny?
done. Franny's done. She's done. She was open. She was one of the most. She was one of the most gung ho about fighting for Claire to stay, and she didn't get her way. Like that's done.
What
She's
about
done.
Heidi? Heidi got a really good premiere. Like a really, really good premiere.
The problem with Heidi is that she was like before the vote, she was like talking about how she doesn't trust Josh as much, but she she votes to keep Josh anyways. I don't know. It's iffy for me.
Yeah.
But you're right. Heidi could have a good chance because she was talking about how like nobody's gonna see me coming or whatever. It's like the Gabler and Erica and story. Like
Yeah.
you know.
And she had seen like making the fire in the first episode, which means she could be like the fire making winner.
Yeah. But I think Heidi
Her-
like, at best is probably like
her-
a runner up or something. I don't know.
Her and Jam both got that fire making content, so she definitely they're probably the top 2 that I'm thinking will win the fire making.
Yeah, I just can't see Jam Jam winning like the end game comps or like just convincing the jury. I don't know. I just can't see it happening. I
Well,
hope I'm wrong.
Carla won a few comps. She didn't look like one that was
Taylor
gonna win
didn't
comps.
win any endgame comps.
I know, but I feel like someone like Jam Jam, who's
Marianne won
likable and
0.
stuff, needs to win those endgame comps. I don't know. I just feel like
Marianne
Winning
won 0.
immunity in Survivor isn't. It's not like Big Brother, where it's like, you know what I mean.
yeah, we
Yeah,
know.
you don't
But some people have
in
to. Some
modern
people just have to win, like Mike Holloway.
in modern Survivor, unlike Big Brother, winning a comp does not add to your resume anymore.
I think in some aspects it does, especially for recruit players. And we do know that there's a lot of, if not recruits,
There's-
they're like surface level players like Jamie that are gonna respect comp wins. We know that.
No, I don't think Jamie would. I don't think
I think
Jamie
Jamie
would.
would.
No, he has no strategic forethought.
Yeah, she has like
But
about
Jamie's
as much
like a
strategic
big
Am I
fan.
allowed to
forethought.
call her Survivor Bimbo?
Jamie's actually a big fan.
I am, then she's a Survivor
Jamie is
Bimbo.
not a big fan. Like it doesn't matter how big
She
of a
is.
fan you are.
You see her on
just-
Twitter? Like she's a huge fan. Like be for real.
She's a TikTok. She's like a TikTok opportunist. She's
what?
trying to get viewers
Oh,
on
what?
TikTok. Okay,
She
whatever.
does food reviews on TikTok. She eats
Yeah,
burritos.
she should review worms next that she ate on the island. We need to
She's
see
like
that happen.
she's like what's his face? What's their face? Review bra, but like not as funny.
Yeah, we know why she's not as funny. It's just because, you know.
Oh my god,
It's
that's
I mean,
not.
soulless.
she's Jamie. It is what it is. Like
I thought you were
all
gonna
she-
say because she's a woman,
No,
and I was gonna be like,
no. Don't say it out loud.
No, she's
I
the
was gonna
female
say like,
Tom
what the
Brady.
fuck, Bard?
But anyways, that's pretty much all we have for the episode. Do you guys have any last final thoughts, Bryce or Raccoon? Bryce, you always have the thought. What do you want to say to finish off?
Let's see. Final thought. I hope we get a legitimate swap. You know, like how they would do in the 30s. Like, all right, your swap. Take a random, something, random buff, and yeah. I hope we
Speaking
get
of
a
the
legit
swap, what
one.
happened to the Advantage Island? What happened to that island at the beginning of the season? Where did that go? where did they
What?
gonna
What do you
bring
mean?
that back? The
What-
island that
what-
Sarah,
what do you mean? Oh, that's
Matthew.
just that's like Exile. That's like the new Exile Island. Like that's just.
Yeah, but they used to do that like every round in like 41 and stuff, right?
Well, I'm glad they're not using it as much because it's like really shit.
This is the
'cause
worst
people
one.
lose
I'm
them.
glad they're not using that. This is the worst version of that one for sure.
'Cause how does fuck does Matt lose his vote twice? Like that's really lame.
Yeah, like
you
you're
know?
forcing someone to pick once. Like that's not fair.
Like
And-
just allow them to pick once. If they get it wrong, they get it wrong. They lose their vote for one time.
No. Don't let. Yeah, allow them to pick once and then pick
If-
twice.
if
Like
they-
you know, Chris Noble and Ghost Island. Allow them to pick however many as they want, but don't force them to pick one. It's not fair.
Yeah.
You can't force someone to make a choice. I don't know why production's like forcing it. It's like authoritarian Survivor. What is this? But
Hey, is
Yeah.
it a free country?
No, I'm pretty sure it's like a. Let me look it up. Is
what's the question?
Fiji a what's it called, like a
Free country.
dictatorship?
I don't think so. I'm not sure about
No, I
Fiji
don't
politics. But
Fiji
no,
is
getting off topic.
Republican.
But like at that point when Matthew got his first votes taken away from him, like Matt, he should have just like it was a 50-50 for the advantage anyway. So I don't even blame him for going for the advantage at that point. Honestly, like why not? You've
Okay,
already
it is a
once.
democracy. It is a democracy, so
It's a
it's probably a free
democracy.
country.
Okay. Anyways, guys,
Democracy.
thank you guys for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe for the next video.
And
We're gonna
make
make a
sure to
pre-jure
watch
video.
our casting video. Make sure to
And by
watch
the way, I'm gonna make an
video.
announcement. I'm gonna make an announcement. If you stuck on this long to our streams, if you donate any amount of money in the live chat when we're streaming, we will make a video about anything you want. Okay, that's what we're gonna
No,
do.
I will get a tattoo of your name on my ass,
Thank you,
Mhm.
Raccoon. Thank you for that. Really.
just like Cody, just like Cody. I'll get your initials. Not your full name, because
All right.
that'd be a
Anyways,
bit too
as
much.
we approach the 1 hour and 5 minute mark,